Order a meeting of the Borough of Spring Lake Heights, regular meeting of November 14th, 2011. Please stand for a moment of silent reflection and salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I have a roll call, please?
Mayor Enright?
Here.
Councilman Brennan? Councilwoman Cynthia? Here. Councilman Diver?
Here.
Councilwoman King?
Here.
Councilman Mechanico?
Here.
Councilman Borbeck?
Here.
This meeting is called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meeting Law. Notice of this meeting was included in a list of meetings sent to the Co-Star and the Asbury Park Press, posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building and on the borough website. May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Make the motion.
I'll second.
I'd like to make a change in the agenda. I'd like to move up a discussion of T4 and T5 transfer resolutions, and like to put it under number 5 for special items, so we don't keep the PM consultants here too late. Okay, put it at the beginning, because it's at the very end of the meeting.
Can I second it?
Thank you, I think so, okay. Any other additions or corrections, or, I'm sorry.
I make a motion to add a word to the minutes, I'm sorry, the regular meeting, September 26, 2011, the regular session where it says, Mayor Enright announced that Councilman Borbeck called on a business trip and was, insert the word not, was not able to get back on.
Anything else? Okay, may I have a roll call, please?
Miss Cynthia?
Yes.
Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Miss King?
Yes.
Mr. Mechanico?
Yes.
Mr. Borbeck?
Yes.
May I have a motion, please, to approve the minutes of September 26, 2011 regular session as amended by Councilman Mechanico?
I'll make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the minutes of October 11th, 2011 regular and executive session, and October 24th regular session. May I have a motion to approve all of the minutes?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, any discussion? May I have a roll call?
Miss Cynthia?
Yes.
Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Miss King?
Yes.
Mr. Mechanico?
Yes.
Mr. Borbeck?
I'll abstain.
Thank you.
Okay, under special items, I'd like if any council person has a question on T4 2011 or T5 2011, the transfer resolutions. Rich or John, I think Rich would be happy to answer those questions. We moved it up to the beginning of the meeting so they didn't have to stay. Any question on the transfers? I think these are pretty routine. We do them every November. Anybody have a question? Do you want to make any comments or no? Okay. Then thank you very much for coming, but we're done.
Thanks, guys.
That was easy.
Ordinance number 16, 2011. An ordinance of, would the clerk read the title, please?
Ordinance of the Borough of Spring Lake Heights, County of Monmouth, State of New Jersey, providing for the dissolution of the Spring Lake Heights Fire District Number 1 pursuant to NJSA 40A:5A-20.
May I have a motion, please, to open a public hearing?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Would anyone like to speak to this resolution, or this ordinance?
Jim Merriman, Assistant Fire Chief, Spring Lake Heights Fire Department. As I've said before, you people haven't got a plan. When Mrs. Zendaya sits there and says, let's put snow plows on the garbage trucks, she doesn't know what she's talking about. There's 750 gallons of water on a fire truck. As I told you in January, when we had the storm in December, it took us 6 hours to get our first run truck back from Alair Road and Highway 71 to our fire hydrants. They don't do well in the snow. How can you turn around and say something like that? And what if the fire truck is out plowing snow? How do we get our equipment anywhere? Can you answer that?
Mr. Mayorman, what happened was Brian Brendel, in a public session, made a comment that we should put plows on the fire trucks as they do in several other towns, and I said that we would look into it. That's all I said. It's a matter of public record,
I have
and
never
you have
heard-
now, and you are now attributing all of this comments to me. And Brian Brendel is the one that brought it.
Because you were the one who stated that it would be a wonderful idea.
I said we would look into it.
But that's out of context.
Yeah, that is,
That's out of context.
thank you, Jim.
Seriously.
Would anyone else like to speak? May I have a motion, please, to close the public? Oh, I'm sorry, Casey.
I apologize, I had a handful I had to take care of.
State your name and address.
Casey Williams, address 1710 Highway 71, Chief of the Independent Fire Company serving Spring Lake Heights. This is the last stop on the train. There's no bones about it. I'm disappointed with the way things have turned out. I speak for the body of the fire company in saying that we've been very happy with the way things have been going with the district from start to finish, whether it finishes December 31st or goes beyond. We have had nothing but a good relationship with them. The volunteers that have given 25, 50 plus years of service have all been happy with them. Regardless of what the Borough Council, as you sit up here today, or the ones that will, replace you in the future, are going to do for us, we have nothing but great things to say about what the district has done for this town, for the fire service, for the protection of the lives and property of the people of this town, up to this point and beyond. I anticipate that they would do so regardless of politics, regardless of who stands before me on the dais up here, and I make no bones about what you as a group of people will or will not do in the future, because I cannot see into a crystal ball, and I cannot predict what's going to happen January 1. I cannot predict what's going to happen 5 years from now. You guys can make promises, they may be kept. I have no idea what's going to happen. All I know is that the people have benefited from the district, the lives of the people in the town have benefited from the district, and we brought forth a petition that stated very clearly that a vast amount of people in the town were willing to keep the district here. It's not a matter of price or money, as a lot of things have been swayed to be brought up before this council. It's a matter of the lives and safety and the best interests of what's for the town's people, not just what's best for their backs. I would like to see that the district be left in place as a resident, as a family person, and it's been really hard for me to come up and say anything to you guys, given my position as an employee of the borough. But I really do believe that the time is now to stand up and state what I believe, and I believe that leaving the district where it is in the best interest of the safety and the best interest of the townsfolk here. And I believe they stated that. We've had plenty of people that come up here and say that. And I'm not going to make a money issue out of it, because I think it transcends that. It's something that's best for the town, and I think that's where the decision should lie, not with what the bottom number of pennies literally is going to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Casey.
Casey?
Sure.
Casey,
Sure, Mr. Mechanic, please.
Casey, I know your feelings, how you feel about it. Everyone up here is a resident of town. Don't you think we want the best fire company we could possibly have?
And I will guarantee you that regardless of what happens January 1st, you will have the very best fire company that we, as a company, are able to provide. My problem, it's not a problem as such, but we've done as best as we can with what we have to work with, and that's the problem that we face. We can only be as good as what we have to work with. We can be one of the best fire companies in Monmouth County, or we can be just like a Bradley Beach, just like a Roosevelt, just like some of the other companies that aren't supported by the government money. And like I said, I can't make predictions, but I know what we have has been working. And I hate to see something that's working go by the wayside.
Thanks, Casey.
Thank you.
Would anyone else like to speak?
Ryan Delay, Springwood Heights Fire Company. I just would like to know,
Your address.
Your address,
Yeah.
yeah.
at 400 Asbury Park, member of the fire company. And right now, from my understanding, there is no plan yet. And I'm just behooved on why is something being acted on with no plan yet? Because there's a lot of numbers that have to be put out between maintenance, equipment, gear, training, all this.
There's a plan. The plan is simply to take the budget that the district has and put it into the budget, our current municipal budget. And the tax rate that is currently a fire district tax rate gets absorbed into the municipal tax rate. So the taxpayers themselves will look at the tax rate and see that the town tax rate has increased, but it's only increased the amount that the fire district. There's no plans right now to cut anything. We've requested financials from the district and from the company, and we've gotten nothing. So we can't sit down and look and see what the budget is until we find out how you guys are spending money to begin with. But right now, there's no plan to cut anything from your budget. We're trying to figure out where all the money's going. And until we get the financials from you, that's when we will be able to do a budget. I mean, an actual itemized line by line by line.
I mean, every year, the fire company and the fire.
Wait, I'm sorry, John, would you like council to speak?
I was gonna say, pretty much reiterate what Patty is saying. It's one budget being folded into the general budget. It's not something where anything is being cut. And as I've even said before, it would be insane for us to sit up here and make cuts that would either jeopardize your life as a firefighter or their lives as a citizen. We're not gonna do that. And I think we stated that before. And I don't think that anyone here, whether they are for or against or in between, wants any harm to come to anyone in the town or in the fire department. It's very important to us, and we take it very seriously.
Right, so all the benefits and your low staff and everything, that just becomes.
I care less about low stuff.
yeah.
It's my gear, my training. I would hate for us to get cut in any of those fields
Yeah,
that are so important to us.
There's going to be a lot more accounting and fiscal responsibility. I feel we'll use the people in the office that are there every day to do a lot of the stuff that.
But proper maintenance will be upheld, gear, all the
Absolutely.
regulations will be met.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. And,
Okay.
we might have, because we have a town mechanic that's on, employed by the town, possibly he'll be able to do the routine maintenance. You have the fire equipment is not normal and customary equipment. We realize that. Certain things will have to be done by specialized, specialized mechanic. But if oil changes or regular things that we might be able to save a little bit of money, that's what we're going to try and do. Your insurances, your property, the liability insurance for the vehicles, we're going to try and work out a way to save money there. Workers' compensation for all the men, we're going to try and do that with the JIF and see if we can save money. So little places will be able to save money, but as far as right now, we're not cutting
Is it
anything.
definitely a money saver though?
Pardon me?
Do you know if it's a definite money saver yet or no?
I'm fairly certain that,
100% sure?
yes. Well, because you have the commissioners, you have the professionals, will be able to save that easily, right there, so.
Okay.
Right?
All right, thank you.
I'm sorry, sir.
Would anyone else like to speak?
Just pardon the interruption, Your Honor. I just need your address again. I didn't catch.
Would anyone else like to speak?
Can I just ask one more question, please?
You have to say your name and address
Okay,
again.
no problem. Jim Merriman, Assistant Chief, in Building I, Borough Court Apartments. I'm asking you to use a certified fire truck repair. Because changing the oil is one thing. You gotta change the oil on the hydraulic generators, on the pump transfer cases, on all this stuff that has different types of oil. And if we send the truck down to the mechanic and he changes the oil, and then you go and have to send the rest of the truck out to have its maintenance done somewhere else, they're gonna whack you. So this is, I'm just trying to explain and this is what we have talked about in this room here. We had said, changing a tire, fine, but the actual maintenance of the trucks should be done by a certified fire truck repair outfit.
See, I don't handle, I'm just trying to say to you,
Yeah.
I agree 100% with you. Art Herner is the one that makes decisions on the repairs on the garbage trucks. I mean, I might say, listen, you know, can somebody get it at a better price? Can you get another estimate from somebody else? But he's the one that says it has to be fixed, and that's the same, what will
That's
happen with
all,
this. We will come to the chief.
That's all I'm asking
right.
is when you make a statement like that, you get me nervous. Because there's a lot of money sitting down there, and I don't wanna have something go wrong in the middle of the night and have no generator.
It's not something that we are gonna make arbitrary decisions over. We will just consult with, if Casey Williams is the chief next year, we will consult with him or whoever the chief may be about certain things. I mean, that's what we do with everybody, and we're not a heavy hand. None of us are heavy hands with. We want to give every department exactly what they need.
Okay.
And I know in the past, the councils may have not done that, and that's the reason why you went to the district in the first place. That's not what you're dealing with here.
Okay? I will keep your feet to the fire on that.
Would anyone else like to speak? May I have a motion, please, to close the public hearing?
I'll make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Could I have a motion to adopt and advertise in accordance with the law?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
May I have a roll call, please, Janine?
Ms. Cynthia?
Yes?
Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Mr. Mechanical?
Yes.
Mr. Vorbeck?
No.
Ordinance number 20, 2011. Would the clerk read the ordinance by title, please?
An ordinance amending and supplementing ordinance number 7-2002 entitled, an ordinance amending and supplementing the revised general ordinance of the Borough of Spring Lake Heights, County of Monmouth, State of New Jersey, adopted on August 26, 2002, in order to create and establish an emergency services volunteer length of service awards program, known as LoSAP, in the Borough of Spring Lake Heights pursuant to PL 1997 C.388, NJSA 40A:14-183 for the Spring Lake First Aid Squad under and in accordance with an interlocal agreement between the Borough of Spring Lake Heights and the Borough of Spring Lake, adopted on February 10, 2003.
May I have a motion to open a public hearing on this ordinance, please?
Make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Would anyone like to speak to this about the LoSAP?
No, I just want to clarify, it's LoSAP for the first aid.
Right, right. Could I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make the motion.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
No discussion?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see your hand.
Oh.
Okay. Well, now, wait, we're now to adopt. Could I have a motion to adopt, and then we'll have discussion? Could I have a motion
I'll
to
make that
adopt and
motion.
advertise in accordance with law?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, now, any discussion? Tom?
Yeah, I talked to some people in the first aid squad, and what was recommended was that we table this to after the 1st of December, so they have their meeting on December 1st, or not December 1st, the first Monday of December, whatever.
They being who?
The first aid squad.
Okay.
So this would allow them to kind of talk to the members and see how they feel about this change.
They have not discussed this yet?
I mean, they've had weeks to discuss.
Spring Lake is the one that's already changed their,
Well, I talked to them and they seemed like they didn't know anything about this, so.
Janine, did Spring Lake? Yeah,
I
okay.
talked to the captain, I talked to another member, so.
Any other discussion? Okay, may I have a roll? No, they don't, we're past the public hearing. Could I have a motion to, may I have a roll call? We did the
adopt.
We did, no, we have a motion to adopt and advertise,
But that's what
the
I'm,
first, the second, and then we went to discussion. Now could I have a roll call?
There you go.
Ms. Cynthia?
yes.
Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Mr. Mechanical?
Yes.
Mr. Vorbeck?
Abstain.
Okay, under discussion items, I just want to notify everybody that Park Avenue and 8th Avenue, that corner, we received word today that apparently that corner is going to be closed for about a week because they're paving and I guess they're getting to the paving part of that project. So 8th and Park Avenue will be closed for a week, just that corner. And secondly, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Rich Caraher for the Veterans Day luncheon, which was held the other day. We had about 120-some people at Doolin's. It was absolutely outstanding. Susan Doolin had said she would pay for 50 lunches, and so that's why we raised some money to see if we could have more than 50 people, we would have to pay for it. And when it came time for the luncheon, Susan Doolin said, oh, Susan, you don't have to pay anything. So what happened was we had 120 people that Susan treated to lunch. We paid the tax and the tip, and now we have some money left over for next year. We had bagpipers, we had Billy Lawler came and sang. It was, I thought, an absolutely outstanding event. And Rich Caraher, Eileen, they were on the committee. It was just wonderful, and I thank them, and I'm sure all the veterans thank them for all their hard work. Yeah, absolutely. They did a great job. Sarah came. Oh, and Butch was a veteran, so he was there.
I want to publicly thank Rich, because I am a veteran, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
When I came back, there wasn't that appreciation back then. Thank you very much, Rich.
It was very touching also, very.
Just hope to see everybody back there next year.
That's right.
And Eileen did so much more work than what people realize.
I know, Eileen did the program and a lot of stuff. We had some prizes to give out, that some things that stores had donated, and it was wonderful. Council committee reports. Councilwoman Cynthia.
Well, just as far as we're trying to get a temporary budget for next year started, and we'll be distributing the budgets to the individual companies, which will also include the fire company. And for the fire company, it will basically just be the fire district budget, because I don't have anything else to go on. But we'll be giving out the budgets to each department, the public works, the police. We need them to review their budgets, go over them, what they need, if they need to buy something equipment-wise. We're pretty much taken care of with regards to equipment because of the bond purchases for the municipal. I don't know if there's gonna be something, I believe at one point, Chief Wilms talked about the need of a few vehicles, so we have to look at that. But everybody's gonna be getting their budgets, and they'll need to review them and then get back to me and the individual department head. So I believe the fire will go to the public safety Butch. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, I do want to address Katie Labasco had a article in the CoStar with regards to the fire district and the dissolution, and it said that it was not binding as of 12/31/2011. If we did not come to an agreement, and that's not correct, the dissolution. I confirmed with the DCA, my understanding was that irregardless of whether or not there's a contract or an agreement, that the dissolution is effective 12/31/2011. And I'm hopeful that Katie will have a correction to that article in the next paper.
Councilman Dibber.
Nothing at this time.
Councilwoman King.
Nothing at this time.
Councilman McConical. Councilman Borbeck.
None.
May I have the motion, please, to open the first voice of the public for any business?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone else want to speak on any issue, any business? May I have a motion, please, to close this first voice of the
I'll
public?
make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolution number 147, 2011, authorizing East Point Engineering LLC to advertise for the open competitive bids in connection with the purchase of a low-speed refuse collection vehicle, a mega hauler, a backhoe, front loader, and 2 new garbage trucks. May I have
I'll
a
make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
Have we used these trucks before in the past?
Pardon?
Have we used them in the past?
East Point, no, that's Joe May and his company, much cheaper than Peter Avakian.
Okay.
No, we haven't. Any other discussion? May I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Cynthia?
Yes.
Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Mr. Mechanical?
Yes.
Mr. Borbeck?
Yes.
Resolution number 148, 2011, authorizing the mayor and the municipal clerk to execute an agreement with Monmouth County for cooperative participation in the Community Development Program pursuant to the Interlocal Services Act. May I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion.
A second.
Any discussion? This is how we got the grant to do Alair Road Park, the same group. Any other discussion? May I have a roll call?
Ms. Cynthia?
Yes.
Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Mr. Mechanical?
Yes.
Mr. Borbeck?
Yes.
Resolution number 149, 2011, approving interlocal services agreement with the Borough of Spring Lake for length of service awards program, LoSAP, to award members of the Spring Lake First Aid Squad. May I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? May I have a roll call?
Ms. Cynthia?
Yes.
Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Mr. Mechanical?
Yes.
Mr. Borbeck?
No, I'm abstaining.
May I have a motion, please, to approve the consent agenda, all of the resolutions in the consent agenda, the court report, police report, and the rest.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion on any of these? May I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Cynthia?
Yes.
Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Mr. Mechanical?
Yes.
Mr. Borbeck?
Yes.
May I have a motion to open the second voice of the public for new business only?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Anyone like to speak on any new business, something we haven't done in the past? May I have a motion to close the second voice of the public?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Financial resolutions, T4, 2011, transfer resolution. May I have a roll call? May I have a motion? No, what we did was ask if.
Does anyone have a question?
yeah. May I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? May I have a roll call?
Ms. Cynthia?
Yes.
Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Mr. Mechanical?
Yes.
Mr. Borbeck?
Yes.
T5, 2011, transfer resolution. May I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? May I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Cynthia?
Yes.
Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Mr. Mechanical?
Yes.
Mr. Borbeck?
Yes.
May I have a motion, please, to move bills to the Finance Committee?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? May I have a roll call?
Ms. Cynthia?
Yes.
Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Mr. Mechanical?
Yes.
Mr. Borbeck?
Yes.
May I have a motion to draw voucher warrants?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? May I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Cynthia?
Yes.
Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Mr. Mechanical?
Yes.
Mr. Borbeck?
May I have a motion to adjourn, please, at
I'll make that motion.
8:28?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.
That is a